How to Manifest by Laura Chung, Day 6. Signs and Synchronicities. The simultaneous occurrence of a certain psychic state with one or more external events which appear as meaningful parallels to the momentary subjective state, and in certain cases, vice versa. C.G. Chung, Synchronicity. I do not believe in coincidences. I never have and I never will. However, what I do know is that there's a magical thread that weaves it through everything, creating patterns and synchronicities. Noticing these occurrences is something I've always been kind of obsessed with. I believe signs and synchronicities are ways that other realms communicate with you, and that it's your job to decode them and make sense of what they are trying to tell you. This is essentially mysticism and the occult in a nutshell. When I tell some people that I was able to get through some of my darkest times with tarot and astrology, they think I'm nuts. But in 2020, I realized that Spirit was speaking to me through the cards. I've heard this term called cartomancy, I don't know, which is a form of divination. The root word of divination is divine. So put simply, I figured out a way to communicate with Spirit through divination tools, and with the help of journaling, I was able to pinpoint what I needed to focus on at any given time. I believe this because everything carries energy. Through my training as a Reiki master teacher, I've begun to see everything in this world through an energetic perspective. Because Spirit doesn't speak English, they communicate through numbers and symbols. Whenever I see 1111, my guides and I have both established that this is them telling me that my thoughts and actions are in alignment with my desires. There are other signs too. My ancestors like to leave me feathers everywhere. I've built a pretty impressive collection of them. It works the same way. When I see a feather, I know I'm on the right track. This kind of relationship can extend to other literal signs, such as the lyrics of songs or numbers that seem to be occurring frequently in your life. Pay attention because you're being led. Sometimes what you'll notice is just a sign of encouragement, but others will lead you to someone you need to meet. For my part, when I look back to these kinds of synchronicities and connecting the dots, I always see how chance meetings led me to opportunities. When these opportunities are presented to you, your job is to take them. When you see a sign, that's when you must act. Western cultures such as the United States tend to be action-oriented, but as you will learn, there is a time to act and a time to rest. This is your day to think about what the difference is. When you should act quickly and decisively, and when you should wait, contemplate, and make yourself open to messages from the divine. Constant, nonsensical action leads us to burnout. We are human beings, we are not robots, and we must take the time to rest so that we can see what the universe is trying to send us. So if you are getting signs that it's time to surrender, you should take notice of those too. You'll avoid the cycle of sickness, injury, and limited perspective that comes with burnout. You set intentions on day 3, so by now you've taken the first step toward connecting to a higher power. Now that you've opened yourself up to that connection, you are going to learn to navigate your way through signs and synchronicities. As Nikola Tesla said, if you knew the magnificence of 3, 6, and 9, you would have a key to the universe. During the quarantine of 2020, like so many of us, I got really into TikTok. It was the first time I began sharing my spiritual practices openly and speaking about what I believed in. I was floored by the number of people who responded to these messages. It just showed me that during this period of challenge and conflict, people wanted to believe again. In 2020, I shared a video about Nikola Tesla's fascination with 3, 6, and 9, as well as the significance of the numerology. The 369 method of manifestation can be found all over TikTok and YouTube. You basically use repetition to either script or say your affirmations 3, 6, and 9 times. The number 3 represents creativity. It takes 2 people to create a baby. An egg and a sperm create a zygote. In the tarot, the 3rd card is the Empress, which is a card about creation, fertility, and abundance. The number 6 is of harmony and balance. It has the qualities of Venus, and in the tarot of the Lovers is the Lovers card, which is about partnerships. Number 6 holds the vibration of unconditional love and matters of the heart. The number 9 is of completion, but not the end. Think of it as a cycle during which something is being transformed. The 9 is a wise number that can only be gained through lived experiences. The number 9 means that it's time to share that wisdom with others. The 9th card in the tarot is the Hermit, which is ruled by Virgo. The Hermit is about having all the answers within yourself and possessing the ability to connect to the divine. Nikola Tesla believed so deeply in the energy of these numbers that he would only stay in hotel rooms that had the numbers 3, 6, or 9. He often repeated behaviors 3 times. Although the act of repeating a behavior 3 times might seem simply compulsive, we learn through repetition. We unlearn through repetition. We rewire our brains through repetition. Doing something 3 times naturally helps when you are learning new habits, banishing old ones, and teaching yourself to default to this action as opposed to another one. Have you ever had a dream and you saw your dream play out in your waking life? Have you ever experienced deja vu? Have you thought of someone and then they called or texted you? You might think these events have nothing to do with each other, but when you send an energetic thought out, it will always come back to you in some form. Similar to what we discussed yesterday about the 5D and the unified field, when you ask for guidance or you ask for a sign, your request doesn't just go out there with nothing happening. Something always comes back to you when you put your energy out into the universe. It's one of the universal laws. Seeing signs. Once you've set an intention, make sure to journal and take note of all the synchronicities